Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mojosaurus Rex here, and today I'm going to be telling you how to get through the Abyss Corridor. First things first, if you're going to have to be at least minimum AR40 just to complete floor 8-3, which is the highest for the corridor. So make sure you hit that before watching the rest of the video. Now, some of you have noticed in the later floors that you're going to need two teams, and for starters, you're going to want to have two main DPSs, one for each team. Now, I do recommend that those characters be at least level 70, but because you're AR40, you should at least get them to 80 with level 80 weapons and maxed out artifacts 4-star at the minimum. By the way, Electro is, in my opinion, really good for the for basically the whole corridor. So if you have any Electro DPS units, probably focus on them. Now that you've chosen your two DPS characters, now for the supports, I'm gonna be honest, they don't have to be leveled very high. Level 40 to 50 maximum should be fine. And I will say that Kaya and Amber are actually very good for cracking shields in the Abyss, and there's gonna be a lot of like Abyss mages and like Fatui soldiers that always pop shields, and it's really annoying. So those are very good options for your support team. Now, because you're gonna have double teams, it might be hard to fill these out for some people, but you're gonna need at least one Claymore user for each team, because some of the enemies are going to be Geo users, and they're just going to be popping Geo shields, and the best way to pop those shields is with Claymore. And last but not least, for your supports to fill out your roster, I recommend, you don't need it, but I do recommend a healer just for that sustainability. Just so you could, keep your main DPS alive. So here I'm just going to show you the two characters that I used as my main DPS, which was Keqing and Beidou. And I'm just going to show you their weapons and artifacts that I had on them at the time. Here are basically the two teams that I used for basically from floor 5 all the way to floor 8. As you can see, I had my main DPS as Keqing, and for the second half was Beidou, and I have one Claymore user on both teams. Beidou is really good because she's Electro and has a Claymore, and she just outputs a lot of damage with her counters. Got a healer on there, and everyone else is just to crack shields. A nice thing to do is to check each chamber to see what enemies they have. So as you can see in this one, it's got the first half has a Hydro Abyss Mage and a Cryo Abyss Mage. Basically, those guys can be taken down with Cryo and either Electro or Pyro. So probably bring Amber and Kaya for those floors. And the second half is Pyro, and for that you could use a Hydro. I used Barbara because that's the only Hydro I had at the time. So. Now I wanted to go over some of the skirmishers, the Animo. I didn't really notice a weakness that they had, so you could just probably bust them down with your main DPS character. Now here I just wanted to show that in the later floors you are going to be seeing some Geo users like skirmishers, and also other floors are going to have like the big hilly trills with like the really big shields. So for those, you're just going to switch to your Claymore user. I mean, I used a level 20 Noelle with a level 20 sword, and she does just fine breaking shields. So don't worry if like your character isn't high enough level. As long as you have them on the team, then they should be fine. Now, these guys are going to be a big pain for some people, but for some people, everyone's going to have Barbara. So she's gonna be definitely for the Pyro Regis fine, break his little shield thing, whatever, and just go ham on them with a DPS. Now Cryo, I'd say if you have an Electro user, use them so you could pop Superconduct, and that should lower their defense, physical defense, and then you should be pretty okay against them. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Now, I just want to say, if you learned anything from this video, please, if you want, you don't have to hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my content. I'm just going to be making like little light guides like this, just to help new travelers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. It's me, Mojosaurus Rex, and I'm out.